Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Open the Gates. It's the show where creators get to show their worlds, and us the viewers get to step into the threshold. So this is this is that show, and today's guest is Mad Ruth, and he's going to be talking about the world of Soltac. So say what's up, everybody.
Hi, good afternoon there, Matt.
How's it going, brother?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh hell yeah, man! This is our second show, so thanks for everybody tuning in.
That's awesome.
I've been waiting to hear about this book for a minute. I've been seeing you out there on the Twatter sphere and whatnot for Soltac, and I just been waiting for this book to come out. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So my name's Craig White. Originally, I was born and raised in Toronto. All my family actually lives out in Iowa. So for a little while there, when I was a kid, they were trying to convince me to be take over the farm, but I wasn't interested in that. So in any case, when I joined the military in 1995, and then obviously 9/11 happened, I went Reg Force. So I did 26 years in the military, 2 tours in Iraq. Sorry, not in Iraq. 2 tours in Afghanistan, 1 tour in Bosnia. 26 years in the military. I knew around 2005 that I wanted to get into writing when I retired. So I started working on Soltac basically 2005.
Ooh.
I started, I've been at it for 16 years with this project. And it was just something I wanted to line up as something I would do upon retirement. So around what was it when the Last Jedi came out? What was that? 2018. I saw that
Yeah.
movie, and I'm a lifelong Star Wars fan.
Mm.
So I was very disappointed in the Last Jedi, but I used that energy to basically blow the dust off my script, and that's what got me that light the fire in me to start writing. So starting in March 2020, when COVID happened, we did the original sketch designs for this book, and I've been working at this book basically a page a day for 2 years, and now I'm at the point where the book's almost done. So,
That's awesome, man.
yeah,
That's sweet, man.
yeah,
Um, your art in this book is just out of this world, man.
yeah.
Um, I don't
So
know where you got your artist from, but man, it's total pro level up there.
so part of it again, 2018 was knowing I really wanted to create the best book I possibly could create, right? And I didn't want to leave any like no strings attached. I wanted to do this the best possible way I could. So I did all my required reading, like reading on writing, how to draw comics the Marvel way,
Oh yeah, I got
uh,
that.
yeah, how to make comics, and then I handpicked all the artists I could find that were willing to work with me and that were willing to commit. See, that's the biggest thing too. It's not you could find someone to do one piece or two, but when you're like, hey, you feel like doing an 88-page graphic novel over the next
Yeah,
2 years, that's a lot of time, right? So I
yeah,
looked at a lot of portfolios, and the artist for this is Gonzalo Loyola. He lives down in Chile, and
sweet.
me and him are like best friends. I mean, we talk almost every day, and we would talk every day for 2 years. So it's a great friendship that we've developed of doing this, and he loves it. He knows all about Comicsgate. He knows what we're about. And we talk about the shows and stuff, and he's having just as much fun as I am. So
Oh, that's awesome, dude. You guys got
yeah,
that built that bond
yeah,
and that also that working relationship and probably
yeah,
that shorthand too. You know.
yeah.
Um,
So also too, I like to show people. So like, even though I'm a new, like I did my diligence. So I don't know, you don't have to put me on the screen, but that's like my script. So like
oh wow, that's
I
beautiful.
learned how to properly write like comic books, and then that goes in conjunction with the thumbnails. I know you know all this, but so all those thumbnails go in conjunction, and then once I had all that done and the script done, I then did all the layouts. So this
Oh
is
wow.
every single page in my book. I constructed the layout, and I mean I'm not that great of an artist, but I've seen books at the same level of my art. But
Oh, that's
that's
badass,
what
dude.
yeah, I give a page of script and then a page of layouts to my artist every week, and literally, in a few minutes we rejig and he says this is what he's going to do, and I said right off, and then that's how the pages get created. So it's a collaborative effort, and so
Yeah,
it bothers me when people are like you're just the writer. I'm like, well, I'm a little bit more than just the writer, you know.
yeah. No, you make sure like everything goes the right way, and I do the same thing with myself too. When I'm just a greenhorn starting out. I was working on
Mhm.
Butch Cleaver for like 10 years too, and I did the first book, it was trash. Did the second one, tried to do better. The third one, fourth one, fifth one. Right now I'm taking a
Mhm.
break too, but I do the whole script thing similar to you. I do I do I describe
Thumbnails.
every panel, and then I'll go in and I'll do thumbnails too. And then after that, just thing is though, I try to go as loose as possible because the more you render it, the less whimsical it is, and the less fluidic it is, and the less fun it is. So I'll go really like minimalist on the pencils, and then I'll come in and or on the layouts, and then when I start doing the pencils, it's a little more, and then the inks. That's like when you watch EVS do his stuff, it's really cool. The blue line. I don't know if you've seen him draw, but that's how I kind of got into CG. I was watching his videos, learn how to draw. You got a favorite metal band, bro? You listen to metal?
Oh yeah, big time. Pantera.
Ooh,
yeah, Misfits, Slayer, Yeah.
So probably Pantera would be your favorite metal band.
Yeah.
You're gonna go watch them with the new lineup, or it's not really a new lineup, but you know what I mean.
No, I'm old school, I'm kind of trapped in the '90s, but I got to see them live with the original members of Black Sabbath in 1999, so that was cool.
Oh, okay. So that was cool then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope, man. It's cool if we bring up your campaign right now and maybe talk about it a little bit.
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
Sweet. Let me do that right now. Go ahead and share my screen. Yeah, man, this book. What I really liked about it too, it kind of gave me I didn't go into too in depth into it, but it reminded me a lot like Lobo, man.
Yeah.
Obviously, like Lobo's a little more cheesier, but yeah, man. This looks awesome. Is it cool if I play the trailer?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, you're free to explore anything you want. I'm happy to answer any questions. Please do.
Let's open this gate. Get right in there. Hell yeah, bro. Yeah, man. So what is Soltac, the actual name? Can you tell me about that?
So yeah, I originally I was writing this as a novel. Like when I first started, it was called The Corporate Order, which is a really lame name. So Soltac, short for like the solar system and the sun, and then TAC, like a tactical command group, basically.
Oh, so okay.
So what it is it's it's 6,000 years in the future is the entire premise. So looking back at history and civilization and everything that's happened 6,000 years, give or take, to get to where we are today. I know you can say civilization is 10,000, 15, whatever. So I wanted to imagine where we would be in another 6,000 years, right? And I'm a big believer that everything's cyclical, everything repeats itself, history repeats itself. So just taking everything from the past and moving it forward 6,000 years, right? So I imagine humanity's conquered the solar system in another 6,000 years. So there's settler cities. We've conquered all the moons and planets. We've terraformed what we need to do. We're good like Jurassic Park with genetic and DNA. You know what I mean? We can create our own creatures and stuff, right?
Yeah.
We had a war with artificial intelligence for 200 years. We've been able to make the human body live for 300 years. So now people don't die of old age. They basically start to rot and decompose, right?
Wow, man. because I'm digging this.
Yeah, so we had a 200-year war with the AI, and by all rights, you got to think, if there was a war between artificial intelligence and us, just like us and the Neanderthals are conquering North America, they would wipe us out, right? So I had to come up with a premise for why the AI sort of surrendered and like didn't wipe out humanity. So it starts off, with a lot of character introductions. You understand and feel each of these characters like it's a gritty, raw world, and you understand each character's purpose and why they are interacting with each other, while at the same time they realize that the game's a little rigged, that they've been exploited, that people sort of pit them against each other, and they figure out what's going on, and they're really ticked off, and then by the end of the book they start fighting back. So.
Damn, dude, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
What I no, am I wrong in saying that you might like John Carpenter a little bit?
Yeah.
I like this, man.
You'll see it all, like between Escape from New York, Aliens, Predator, Judge Dredd. Like you'll feel the little bits. You can tell I'm quite the nerd and I love my movies. Like there's a little bit of everything in there.
I'm getting those amps. I'm getting those amps from this book, man. It's amping. I like this right here. Reminds me of Snake, dude. He's one of my favorite characters of all time. What I love this right here is the fight choreography, brother. I love just the way you guys broke it down, man. The armbar.
I sat there and contorted and twisted each panel. Imagine, okay, how would he have to move to the next one? And then I drew that up. Yeah, a lot of input on all the layouts.
For me, I love fight scenes in movies. Like even movies that don't even need it. I just like, this movie would do better with at least one fight scene in it. You know, like a lot of movies. Not a car chase, not an explosion, not a gunfight, a freaking fight scene. What I do love right here, man. Though again, it's just the way you guys really broke it down. The art's beautiful. I love the press over the head, the back breaker, the arm breaker, the rib breaker. Like, oh man, like I really, that's so cool. Again, look at the art. I love the way that you already explained so much of the lore about how humans like went to war with machines, you know, with AI, you know, the singularity is upon us in real life. You know, it could be here, you know, 15 years they're talking any moment. It's already kind of doing it with the artificial art and whatnot. There's Topo's in there now. I don't know if you're about that. I was watching the 656 crew. They were talking about that. I love this piece right here.
Self-aware, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, there's a line art book too. So yeah, but yeah. So there you go. There's your Sons of Strife there.
So cool, man. I love how it's the android or cyborg, depending on, you know, whether android's a cybernetic alien, right?
Yeah, but so they're mostly artificial. The only reason you see anything organic there is the original creator. That's who that thing is. He's the one who created the singularity, so he's like a god to them. And that's his biological son. What's left of him, he's been slowly rotting away, so, you know. But everyone else in the AI horde is artificial. Yeah.
Digging the lore that you put into this, man. I'm like, you could tell that you fucking spent years on this, building the lore up, you know. You got the art,
daydreaming.
You got the colorist, you know what I mean? You got everything lined up, man. You could tell you put a lot of love into here. You want to go over the tiers a little bit?
Sure, but if you go into my updates, so a special thing with my updates too, and I've also got promotional art if you want to hit those tabs, but my updates, every time I do an update, I include another image as well. So there's even stuff I sneak in with those updates. It's kind of cool. So, for example, my last cover, I've got two books, right? A black and white and a color. So I'm going to alternate the covers as a back cover sort of giveaway. And then if you open up each of those, there's things to talk about in those. So that's just a panel out of the book, again, just to show everyone some more of the fight scenes.
It's cool, man. Like you're checking a lot of the boxes that I like. You know, now you're putting samurais. Fucking samurais are in there. Oh man, I love that, dude. Like there's so much cool stuff in here. I love the music too. The music, it really brought me in. Sorry. There's
a reason. No, there's a reason for why this band of misfits has gotten together. It's not just randomly throwing a bunch of people together, right? So that's the line art cover you're looking at and the actual cover I've put on my Twitter lot is a lot more bloody. So the line art book is called Blood and Ink, and it literally is blood and ink. Anywhere in the book where there's supposed to be blood, it's crimson, it's red. So.
Is it paint like Hammer? No.
Yeah.
Always something I'm always talking about
but people like, isn't that going to charge you more for printing it? I'm like, I don't care. I want like a Frank Miller 300-esque like blood and ink book, you know.
Dude, that's funny you say that, man. I just bought that book like 3 days ago at Book Off. I got it for $15 because you know how it's got that weird format, how it's like I think it's like 9x12.
Yeah.
The next book I'm creating, I'm going to make it big like that, you know. And I wanted to pick that up for inspiration. He's one of my favorites. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm a huge Frank Miller fan, so
just all kinds of stuff he does and all the styles he does and all the just different things, you know. So we got right here the signature tier, the featured tier, the Soltac,
Yep.
both books for 45. You want to talk about that a
Yeah.
little bit?
So you'll get the colored book as you've seen the three panels of. Again, that's 92 pages of interiors. Then you get the line art blood and ink version as well. That's 92 pages of interiors. And then you get an upgraded version of this ash can that I created for the copyright. And basically in that, that's got 32 pages. But that's got all the original character designs that I needed to make sure my artist had his consistency, all the color designs, bios, and then it's got line art stuff at the back. So that's a nice little freebie giveaway. So you get all 3 books in that tier, and that sort of makes up the shipping from Canada, because I know it's a little bit more expensive. But that tier's been the greatest tier so far with 23, I think. 23
Oh yeah,
people
for
have
sure.
that.
Yeah, and you
So,
can't beat that, dude. I mean, for the
yeah.
quality, all the stuff that you get. Obviously, it's gonna be a little more because it's from fucking Canada. But you get like this. The story itself is what is it? It's like 4.5 comic books, bro.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
was it 88 pages for just the story alone, right?
Yeah, continuous. Yeah, uninterrupted. And the art's the same. The cover art is the same as the interior art.
Yeah, you don't have just like a Frazetta cover or whatever, and then
Yeah.
get inside it and it's fucking Tumblr art or something. I'm just doing the extremes,
No,
you
it's
got
true.
him
Yeah.
all the way in there. You know what I mean?
Like I did everything I could, so anyone who understands comics would really appreciate the amount of work I put into this thing. For sure.
Yeah, like you did everything that you're supposed to do to succeed in the industry that we're in right now, which I would call the crowdfunding industry, comics. Right here, this is the just like the standard tier, right?
Yep. Just the colored book by itself.
And you get the Ashcan. Who's this dude right here in the Ashcan cover, man? I like that
So
design
that's
of that character.
Yeah, that's Dexter Barrow. So he's a bounty hunter. He was a war hero from the AI War. He was
Okay.
pretty famous. So he fought against them. He was the one that was basically championed as the savior of humanity, because he was the one that first started to push back. And then he took up a career of bounty hunting. Again, these people live to be like 300 years, so he's got a very long lifespan, right? So as he's a bounty hunter, humanity's trying to achieve faster than light or near light speed. We're trying to achieve it, but every time we send a ship out, something catastrophic happens. So what happened is they blame it on this Neo Samurai, who she used to be the project lead. So they pin it on her to claim that she's a terrorist, and they hired Dexter to hunt her down. So, he gets some grease. Assassination's not a good thing, but he's the one that gets hired to hunt her down. So that's their relationship.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Then right here you got the blood and ink. So you're telling me, so can you explain this to me one more time, the blood and ink edition, so I don't speak out of line?
Yeah, so the entire book it's a line art book in the traditional sense, but anytime that blood happens in the book,
Okay.
the blood is in red.
It's fucking metal, dude. Oh,
Yeah.
For me, if I could, I would buy that one, and I would buy the other one, just just on general principle. That's so cool, dude. That's something sorry.
We've accentuated the blood too. There's even more blood in the line art book than there is in the color book. Because if you're gonna put a little bit of color,
More crimson, more spatter,
Yeah.
more circles, more ovals,
Yeah, just more gritty, more raw.
more gore. Oh, I love that shit. So you got the retailer tier, man. People need to jump on this one. Yeah, totally. You get a good deal right there, man. $100 for 5 copies. You could flip that, you know what I mean, at a store, on eBay. Like, I'm just saying, guys. You know what I mean? That's an extremely good deal. Can't beat that. And then you have the Dexter. What is that? 6 art tier, 11 by 17.
Yeah. So all the original all the original characters. See, too, I also even made trading cards. I was bored, but all the original character designs that I sat down and made, I have the 11 by 17 original comic board for them, the original pencil and ink board. So if somebody wants to back an art tier, they get the very first time that character was ever drawn, 11 by 17, plus a print, plus both books, plus the original prototype. They get all the prototype trading cards,
Wow.
the prototype ash can. Then they get the new ash can and whatever stretch goals are met. So it's a huge package I'm offering for $225.
And how much is shipping on that?
You'd have to click it. I forget what I set it at, because it
Well,
changes
either
based
way,
on
the country,
right?
like, that's a fucking
Yeah.
steal right there. Even
Yeah.
if the shipping's
For-
$100, it's still a fucking steal.
No, it's not that high. I think I
no,
made it 50.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. There's another one right here, Dexter. Was it
Version
V2
2.
art version 2 tier 11 by 17? Similar in the concept of the previous tier.
Yeah, it's all 8 of the original character designs that I sat down and drew before I started production on this book. Because Dexter, he needs 3 sets. He needs 3 sets of gear, right? So he starts off as a bounty hunter. He gets hired as a SolTAC enforcement officer, hence the name SolTAC, because it gives him extra credentials, not necessarily a license to kill, but an ability that corporations can't stop him from going into their zones. If he's SolTAC and he's doing an investigation, he's got a right to be there. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
that gives him the cover he needs to pursue his target. So he also needed the original set for when he's like just in his fatigues, and then he also needs a set for going out into outer space, right? So that's why there's 3 versions of his armor.
Man, I want to read this book.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's like an onion, brother. It's got layers.
Yeah.
So you got the Misha art tier right here.
Yeah.
Similar again.
First sketch for her.
First sketch for her. Then you got the Shido art tier.
Yeah, and that's her basically private guard. So she is the heir to the shogunate. She's the daughter of the shogun. And all the daimyo lords, they obviously just can't wait for the shogun to die, because then the clans can all split and they can vie for who the next shogun is. So they're not particularly happy that she's the heir to the throne, right? But in any case, she's the one that gets framed with being the one that was responsible for all the terrorist attacks. You know, they're trying to run her name into the ground, and vice versa. Dexter's been hired to assassinate her, while Daishido's her basically dedicated bodyguard. Everyone needs a co-pilot, right?
Always, you got to have someone riding shotgun. And
yeah, it's pretty lonely in a spaceship talking to yourself. But Giles is as well. He was Dexter's partner. They were both basically doing whatever jobs they could to make money. They didn't care how ruthless it was, right? If it made money, they worked together. In any case, they had an incident about 40 years ago that broke up their friendship. Giles went his way, Dexter went his. But in order to complete this mission, basically Dexter had to bribe Giles to, hey man, can you fly me to the end of the solar system? Didn't necessarily let him know that he was going there to kill someone, but in any case, like I said, all these characters have very dynamic relationship. Hail to Michael Bancroft's in the chat as well.
Hail Bancroft. Yeah. There's this term that I don't know if I've coined it or someone else has coined it, but I've definitely been saying it. And what I do like about your book is it's got this fucking blue collar sci-fi feel to it. You know what I mean? Very, very alien. You know, almost Blade Runner. You know.
Yep.
Not cyberpunk, but more just dirty, gritty trucker. You know what I mean? Blue collar space.
I've definitely been a 30-year comic book fan, but by all rights, I'm more of a movie nerd. Definitely, I've got DVDs like all over the place. So yeah, Blade Runner, any sci-fi movie you name, I've watched it.
Me too, man.
I haven't
watched.
Yeah.
I'm a comic nerd and a movie nerd too. Like, that's me and my dad. My dad was disabled when I was a child. He had brain tumors, so a lot of the time we weren't playing catch because his equilibrium was messed up. So we taped Batman animated series. He showed me all the. He would tape all the the RoboCop movies and anything, Conan, all that stuff. He would tape it on network television, and we would watch the uncut version. So I would watch Conan and RoboCop, and then I'd come back and watch the rated R version. I'm like, whoa, this is even better, So that was well. Speaking of movies, what's your favorite movie, by the way, of all time? What's your favorite movie?
Shawshank Redemption still. In spite of who Stephen King is, it's my all-time favorite movie.
That's a good one, man. Yeah. I really like that one. You can't really. It's probably the best prison movie, one of them. Yeah. I mean, I like the whole genre. My favorite prison movie would be Brawl in Cell Block 99. You ever seen that one?
A long time ago. Yeah.
With Vince Vaughn. That was pretty cool. Yeah. Shawshank though, man. That's was it Clancy Brown from Highlander was in there? He was. Yeah, he went on.
I mean, I know Morgan Freeman, obviously, and I'm bad with actors' names, but
Tim Robbins and
Tim Robbins, yeah.
Yeah, that movie was crazy, dude. He's just digging his way out of prison. Those movies are always interesting.
Michael says Silence of the Lambs, which is a great one too.
Oh yeah, Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, I have I have all of them on DVD and a couple on Blu-ray because there came a point where I was collecting DVDs and then Blu-ray came in and I was like, I'm going to buy some, but I'm not going to go back and rebuy everything on Blu-ray. And now you have 4, and it's like, no, dude, I'll just buy the Blu-rays. And then if I see a DVD, I'll get that too. Because I got a newer TV where it's so high def to where you can see all the makeup on. If you go watch an old movie, you can see the makeup. You can see every actor's zit and pore, and it's just like, Man, now I know why the whole
Too much.
resurgence for VHS has become so popular because of that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it takes away all the smoke and the mirrors, bro. So,
Mm-hmm.
but
All
yeah,
the
I have all the
magic,
Hannibal.
yeah.
Exactly, man. I have all the Hannibal Lecter movies except for Hannibal Rising, but I did
Yeah.
like that movie. Um,
Yep. I think I'm in the exact same boat. I think that's the only one I didn't buy.
yeah, and then I didn't buy the TV show, but it's on I think it's on Paramount right now, or it's on Hulu. I just got Hulu. I picked that up for the Prey, and that movie was all right. And then they had the new Hellraiser on there, and that was all right, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm a big Clive Barker fan, so yeah, I got to pick up that show at some point. But read all the
Yeah,
books.
David Goyer did this one. I do like some of David Goyer's stuff. I mean, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have a lot of good movies. You know, like Blade and The Crow and Batman
Mm-hmm.
Begins. You know, you could I mean,
Mm-hmm.
obviously he's hit or miss, but he's got some bangers in there, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
For sure.
there was some cool stuff though with the new Hellraiser. They had the way they redesigned some of the Cenobites. It was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The way that they redesigned the puzzle box, that was interesting. A lot of cool different little new takes, but ultimately I like Hellraiser number one. That's my favorite in
Mm-hmm.
the whole universe of Pinhead, and I like Bloodlines 2, Hellraiser 2. Like my second, and the
Yep.
new one I probably
One
put
and
that
two.
up there. I probably put that up there with 3, dude. Um,
It makes sense because Clive Barker did say that he felt that this new show is more in tune with his original vision. So, and that was from the man who wrote it himself. So,
right? I liked Midnight Meat Train a lot too.
yeah,
I
yeah,
went and
it's one of
seen
my
that in the
favorite movies.
theater. I saw it in 3D. All the blood was coming at you and everything. I was like a young Bradley Cooper. um,
Well, it's perfect because it was Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. I mean, I don't know if the actor's name Vinny or whatever, but yeah, you get him and he's completely evil in this. I was like, yes, this is perfect.
I guess he was a soccer player, dude. I think I seen him
Yeah.
on WWF back in the day.
Oh,
And
really?
then he's like, I'm a juggernaut, bitch, and he's running around in was it Last Stand? Um, yeah,
Mm,
it's like whatever. That's crazy though. I guess they're gonna reboot all the X-Men movies too, or they're bringing them over to the MCU. And then
okay.
now I guess Superman Cavill's coming over to
With
back to
Black Adam.
yeah, with Black Adam. What's your thoughts on that movie? You gonna go check that out or what?
I I'll be honest. I walked away from what's going on in 2018. I only hear about new movies from what people say on Twitter and stuff. I just haven't watched anything. So it's not that I don't have opinion. I don't watch any of it. I live vicariously. Up until about 2012, 2013, I guess.
I
So.
stopped kind of watching the movies probably about a year ago. Like there's a bunch that came out. Like I didn't see the new Spider-Man yet. Um, dude, like I went into like Target. Like, oh, I watched that. The only one I watched was the Batman, just because I heard that it was
Mhm.
going to be gritty and he was going to be a detective, and it was like it was going to be like Year One, which it was in a lot of ways. It's very much like Year One
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. And he was a
That's
detective, but it was long and it was I don't know,
that's
but it was
Robert
all right.
Patterson. You're saying? Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll probably have to see that. I mean, I've seen the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. I don't know how old that is, but I mean, I do watch some new movies. So.
that was a solid movie. I thought that was a solid
Yep.
movie. It just
Yep.
wasn't I don't know, man. Like it's just Batman's young in there, and then there's also that TV show Gotham too. He was young in there too, and it's just like, oh man, how are you gonna have Batman so young? It just felt kind of weird. But I think having that, I guess they're gonna expand on that a little more with like making a Penguin TV show or something. But I don't know. I'm not really into it too much, man. I just
It just feels like they take the skin, like not to get into serial killer stuff, but it just feels like they take the skin off all of our IPs, right? They wear our characters as a skin suit, and it's not really true to the lore. It's not true to what you enjoyed. It's just an excuse to insert themselves into a franchise while wearing the skin of the character. I think that's the best way to describe it.
yeah, it's horrible, man. And then most of the normies they're getting tired of a lot of the way things are getting made, but they don't really report on it too much, But the general like I
Yeah.
guarantee you the general normie audience that's not really comic book nerdy, they're gonna like Black Adam. Like I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a big hit. A lot of the critiques on it
Mm.
now, a lot of critics or whatnot, they don't like it. They
Well, I
but we'll
think for
see.
years for years people were being told what to buy and they were just buying it. And even though we were all screaming from the rooftops that this is nuts, and they were coming at us, like you said, the pendulum's starting to swing back, and you can only sell people garbage for so long. And now you're finding, like you said, more and more people are just, they're not buying it anymore.
And it's like some things are just damaged. Like I don't even buy mainstream books anymore. The only things I buy are from back in the day. And I'll buy it used too. Like I'll go to Book Off. They have a massive graphic novel and comic book section there, or at the local comic book store. And I'll buy the old stuff, or I'll just mostly goes to Comicsgate, bro. I'm buying Comicsgate books and stuff that's like adjacent to that,
Yep.
So
pretty much the same thing. My only new entertainment is when I back an independent creator. But when COVID happened, I was really taking advantage of eBay and everyone throwing all their collections up on eBay. I gobbled a lot of stuff up that I was like, wow, I can't believe this stuff is selling this low. It's just because people really needed money, right? So
totally, man. Oh yeah, totally. There's a lot of stuff I want to go pick up. Like just so many things that are out there. Like French. There's so much the whole industry over there. Like that's, you don't really hear too much about French backers, French CG creators. I was talking about this the other day in the comment section. I forgot what show I was watching. But dude, that whole like prestige French market, man. There's so many French, like the comic creators over there are treated like rock stars. There's a big audience over there, and CG hasn't even tapped into it yet. Like I don't know if you've got any French backers. You know what I mean?
No, I don't, but I know what you're talking about for sure.
Right?
I think Gabe was almost about to work with a French artist, and he may be eventually on one of his franchises, but that was the first time I saw a French artist in CG with someone he had partnered up with.
Yeah, so. And it's always like, obvious. It's obvious, like, we need to tap into that manga audience, you know what I mean? But it's like, well, there's also the French audience, you know what I mean? They're both two different countries, but they like their big books, their small books. Like they like the different styles. They like everything, like just the whole sequential art medium, And I think that's something that we should try to like tap into that somehow. I don't know who's gonna do it, but Michael Bancroft, hey, what's up, brother? It's the same with manga. The French market has no need for alternative. We have a long way to go to compete with them.
Yeah, they're self-sufficient.
Definitely, man. It would be cool though if they could like come over. Yeah,
like they don't need to translate it, right?
Well, some of the stuff they do in English, like I picked up a lot of the Elric books, and then they're also doing the Sumerian. I believe it's a whole French team, and they're selling them in floppies, and then you could buy them in a bigger format, with the hardcover. So I just like their whole model, man. I think it's pretty cool. And then the manga thing, all the kids are buying that stuff up.
The only manga I know is the old manga. I don't know any of the new stuff. Like
I mean, neither.
Lone Wolf and Cub and Samurai Executioner. I mean, it's going way back.
I like the Akira was cool. I never bought it, but I always pick it up and thumb through it. It's probably the best or one of the best. And then obviously Berserk. Berserk was the first one and the only manga I really have right now. Also Fist of the North Star and Vampire Hunter D. That movie was pretty cool, and the books were pretty awesome too.
Yeah, I'm familiar with all those. So yeah.
So you're in all that stuff too, huh?
Yeah.
Dude, what does the future hold for SolTac, man? You have a bunch of different books lined up for that, or?
So I had this visioned as 3 88-page books is what I wanted to go with. So again, as a brand new creator just starting out, I front end loaded the expenses for this book because I said, come hell or high water, I'm going to at least make the one book. I'm not going to fail when it comes to imagine getting to a funding and doing all that work and then not even making the book. So print enough copies and make the first book at least. I only need to sell like 800 copies of this book, and I have enough to pay for the next book, right? So that's my goal, is do everything I can to make this a self-propelling IP, right? And have the first book pay for the second book pay for the third book. And then I've got all 3 of my books there, and then it's just a question of what kind of fan following do I have at that point. Because if people are really into it, the story can keep going. It's not like I'm going to kill off all the characters in book 2 or anything like that.
Game of Thrones and Alamore and yeah.
But in Canada, we do have something interesting. So I don't know if you realize this in the States, why you got so many inundated Canadian celebrities and so many inundated properties being made in Canada. Part of our socialistness here in Canada is 15% of all of our content has to be Canadian.
Okay.
There has to either be a Canadian writer, Canadian actor, Canadian storyteller. So if I'm able to make all 3 books, which is my end goal, put them all together in an omnibus, and I've got a couple networks out here that are media groups, and perhaps get in with the media groups and see if I can actually turn the IP into something.
Oh, that'd be sweet, man. Like I was thinking, I'd love to see that, like as a TV show or a movie or something like that. It seems very vast, to where it could easily be a TV show.
But this is way out. Like, I'm just making the first book right now and trying to get people to buy it.
Yeah.
Like,
I hear you, man.
Yeah.
It seems like there's lots to love about the book too, about the way you explain the lore and how everything's set up with the artificial intelligence taking over, humans going to war with that, exploring, looking for light speed, just the character design, the whole samurai aesthetic. Like you put a lot of, I see a lot of different references and notes to things that I love from like the 80s and 90s through movies, dude. I think people are gonna love that book. I'd love to read it someday. Hopefully, I can back it soon. It looks great. The artwork looks fantastic too, man.
And the thing is, both me and Gonzalo, like we work. Like, I can't explain that relationship when you find someone you really just get along with, but I think he's more excited to just keep this journey going. It's my own property, and he wants to keep drawing. He wants to keep working on this. He wants to get into the next book. So I want that to keep going. I'd really be sad to see Gonzalo disappear again. Because you see how much of an excellent artist he is. So
you have a big lore, wellspring of lore and characters, that sound like situations that's fun to draw, and it's action packed. It's you're kind of checking all the boxes for an artist,
Yeah.
And just the bounty. I'm sorry, was that?
No. And the worst part is with the first book, you spend a lot of the time with the character introduction, right? So about half of this book is spent on introducing the characters, and it takes away from how much more in-depth those fight scenes can go and stuff like that. So if I do make it to the second book, I don't have to worry about introducing the characters. You already know them. I can make 88 pages of solid action. And I know if I do make the second book, it's going to be even better than the first book. So,
oh, man. That sounds awesome, man. I love the trailer, too. Like the music, I was going to say, just kind of got me right in there. It had like that John Carpenter feel to it.
If anyone's interested in that music, actually, it's a guy who works out of Vancouver. His name is White Bat Audio. If you look him up, all his music's copyright free. He's got like hundreds of hours on YouTube of free audio. White Bat Audio. All he asks is that you put a credit to him in the video. That's all he asks for.
Oh, that's cool. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's always hard to find like good audio and just find stuff that's around. That's cool, man.
But he does dark synth, he does grind stuff, like it's some pretty cool beats, and like I said, it's all free.
For sure, man. I'm gonna play a little clip right now, just to show you guys. Little shill ad for my book.
Who does the music?
It's me and my buddy's band.
Oh, that's pretty wild.
I got lucky.
My head.
Oh, sweet. Fuck yeah, dude. But yeah, man. 2 years you're working on SOLTAC. You could tell, man. You're just putting the love and the care into that book. This character that's on your banner right there, is that the same character that's on the cover?
Yeah, that's Dexter Barrow. Yep.
And that was his first.
He's got 2 little flying ferret, sort of genetically altered, half flying squirrel, half ferret fucking creatures, and they talk in 3-word sentences, right? So they've got a very limited speech. But yeah, they launch off his shoulders.
Oh my god! So that iteration of him is going to be in the ash can that you can pick up with the book, right?
Oh, it's in the character as well. Like it's the whole journey of him being a bounty hunter, them hiring him for an assassination mission, him wheeling and dealing to get this heavy armor because he knows he's going to need it, him freeing up his flying, taking him out because he left him in hibernation since the war, so like
well, dude,
bringing
it's
them
fucking
back.
epic. Like I don't really hear this talked about, so I'm gonna talk about like in a lot of our like the books and CG and whatnot. Like the characters kind of have just this one definitive form. It's kind of cool when you see a character go through this visual transitioning throughout the book, dude. Like this overall arc, just in the costume design. It's fucking awesome.
I'm a fan of storytelling, right? So it's not just me as a writer throwing a book together. I'm a fan of the hero's journey and storytelling. So as a writer, that's the part I very much took. That's like I'm literally tried to do the best I possibly could, and I just know anyone who picks up this book is gonna love it.
Well, I loved it because I was like, dude, he looks like fucking Captain America and Cable, like badass dude. And that one, like that, I'm just telling you, like and then he looks like fucking Snake Plissken later, and then there's probably another iteration of him. And for me, like that's what like once. I want to read it. Like that has nothing to do with all the cool other stuff you told me about it. You know what I mean?
I can't get into book 2, but he's going to transform yet again. If you read book 1,
it's always good, like having him level up. You know what I mean? And the different villains and encounters and what he has to do to survive and make it through there. Because obviously something happens to him. You don't have his eye anymore, so something happened there. You know what I mean? That's that part of that journey he has to go on. It sounds like it's going to be a fun adventure for him.
Yeah, that's in the next books. All that stuff's in there. Yeah,
that sounds cool, man. I was going to ask you, man, what's your favorite beer, dude? You drink beer at all, or?
I've had a tendency to drink a lot of Colt 45s on video. I won't do that now, but yeah, I drink my malt liquor. That's the only beer I drink. But I'm more of a spirits guy. I like drinking gin and tonic. But
that's cool. I like I drink everything too. I like my malt liquor too. I like Mickey's. I was doing some Mickey's on the last couple of horror streams.
Nice.
Today I got this right here. It's this it's a Gothica by Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk, sorry. It's pretty cool. I'm always trying out new beers and stuff.
We're kind of like, I'm out in the sticks. I'm east of Maine, so I'm like in the Shire, right? People don't even know this place exists, right? Like during the American Revolution, when the Loyalists left America, this is where they all moved to, right?
Oh, okay.
All the ones that were still loyal to Britain. So we have nothing to do with Quebec, and we're sort of tied still to the United States out here, east of Maine. I'm 20 minutes east of Maine, right? So like I said, if zombie apocalypse comes, this is where you want to go, because no one even knows where we are. But we don't have that much of a selection. We got a lot of those craft beers, but
yeah. That's cool, man. It kind of reminds me of the those islands out there in the Atlantic. You know what I'm talking about? They're always fought over by like Norway and Denmark. Was it the Fjord Islands? I think like that.
So it's a very conservative province in the sense that like we're surrounded by trees. You fly over this province, it's 45 minutes of trees until you see civilization, right? So very much sense of community. It's very, you know what I mean? It's sort of removed. Literally, it's the Shire. That's the best way to describe it.
Man, that sounds awesome, man. It's always good to be somewhere where you have like a certain sense of community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I actually wanted to go there. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
So even during COVID, people would come here like, it's like you guys haven't even been affected. I was like, yeah, I know. Life's just
Step all you
on.
assholes out of here. But I was gonna say, man, like I don't know if you're into the Lord of the Rings or whatnot, but I love those movies growing up. I always wanted to go there, the Hobbiton or the Shire. People go there now, I guess, and get married and shit. But
on pilgrimages and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm a fan of the first three.
Yeah.
I never watched The Hobbit.
Most people hate those because of the CGI and they just like they milked out the books, but I fucking love them, man. I ain't gonna lie, I like them.
I've been a Peter Jackson fan since Dead Alive, so.
Oh yeah, I got that one. There's still some more movies I gotta get from him, but I love Dead Alive, bro, because I've always been an Evil Dead fan, and that was a big influence on my comic book. Ash, he's he's up there in my top few favorite characters. He's a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? He's just a normal blue collar guy that saves the world on accident.
To the king. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen the TV show. That's my favorite TV show, bro. And I mean,
I caught a couple episodes. Yeah.
That first episode, Evil Dead.
Yeah.
That
I don't know which ones I saw. I saw a couple of them,
but the seasons get a little worse as they go on. Like the first one's the best, second one's all right, and the third one's like they're all good though. But that first season, the first episode, directed by Sam Raimi, you can really tell with all the cool camera angles and whatnot. I don't know if you ever heard of that movie Dark Man. That was a cool like comic booky type movie. He was gonna make the Shadow and he couldn't, so he ended up with Darkman. That movie was pretty badass.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm a '90s movie fan.
Hell yeah, I got the. What was that?
Michael Wade in there. He said he didn't watch the last Hobbit film, so
yeah, most people don't. They hate them because of the, the CGI, the milking of the whole like just the IP. You know what I mean? The book's kind of it's like a smaller book. But for me, I just like the world that he made. I like the characters. I wish some of them weren't CGI. I like Beorn. That's the werebear. Fucking love that character.
That's even the same thing with Peter Jackson. He refused to do any of the movie unless they contracted him for all three. Because he's like, I've got a vision for all three. You're not interrupting what I've got dream for this. I need to know I'm making 1, 2, and 3 before I even commit to this. And that's why they're so good. He's like, you're going to give me creative control. I'm going to do all three the way I want. No one's going to step in and tell me what to do. And that's why those 3 movies are so good.
And then the Hobbit trilogy, you get a lot of Legolas. Like he's just fucking shit up through there. Just kicking ass. And then I have the rated R version, the Battle of the 5 Armies. There's a rated R version. There's a lot more gore in there. These big, it's CGI, but some of it's really cool. Like I don't know, just like for character design, I'm into that type of shit.
I should check him up, but I'm an old man. Like I spend most of my day with my family and chasing my 5-year-old around, and then I do this comic book stuff. I'm ready to have a nap.
Oh yeah, man. I hear you. When I'm working, I'm always. This is my desk right here. This board right here, I draw on that because I'm always nice. I got a 3-year-old. He's running around, so I'm always constantly picking it up, and then I'm listening to all the fucking CG live streams with my earbuds and having to keep picking it up. And I have a drafting board, but there's just always so much stuff to do. So I'm on that thing all the time. I hear you, brother. It's a constant
hours.
Oh, there's never enough, man. You just got to keep pushing, man. What's
Yep.
So what's your next step for Soltar? I mean, you got any more shows coming up?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of shows left, to be honest. Most of the people, but I mean, I keep grinding. I keep reaching out to anyone who's willing to have me on their shows. Definitely, I gotta do more on my YouTube channel, and I acknowledge that. That's my fault, not doing enough promotion and growing myself. So,
well, I've been doing this for 2 years, and mine isn't even anything. You know what I mean? I just been doing little videos. That's why I'm doing this right now. I'm trying to promote my stuff too, and get out there a little more and help people out too.
I was aiming for, I know it's stupid, don't get me wrong, I don't think I'm smart. I was aiming for the lightning in a bottle effect. I figured if I just made an incredible comic book, it would generate its own heat, and I think we can put the nail in the coffin that is not how this works. It doesn't matter how good the book is, you need that audience first, you need that interest first, you need that excitement first, you need that networking first, and you need to be able to sell your own product. Trying to capture lightning in a bottle is not a recipe for success, and I'm definitely going to acknowledge that.
Well, we'll be seeing you more. We'll be seeing me more here. So the good thing is you got a fucking awesome product. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about the writing.
It's not over. Yeah.
Beautiful.
My big thing is you got to start somewhere, right? You got to start. Oh, thank you so much, Mike. I really appreciate that so much. You got to start somewhere, right? You got to capture you got to get that book, create that book, and have a start state. So that's what I'm doing. And out here, like I said, I'm networked enough into the creator markets and stuff. I'm fairly confident I can move those 700 issues while I build my channel and build my audience and grow, and then set myself up right for the next one for sure. But yeah, thank you so much, Michael. I'll be in touch. Appreciate that.
Just gotta keep grinding, man. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about as far as SolTac goes, man? Anything else you'd like to share?
Just that the book is fully funded. I'm already in talk to my printer. My printer's excited. Like he's really excited about the artwork. Even he's saying like, we want to promote you and we want to show this book. So like I said, at least I got a lot of local excitement generated in my community, and
Absolutely.
people. So he really wants to print this thing with me. So. I'll work with him, print as many copies as I have, and everyone, if you back this book, you're going to get this book, okay? So don't be swayed by the low numbers or the low anything. This is not one of those things where you're going to back something and it's not going to happen. My goal is to have this thing printed by the end of the year and get it into people's hands by March, and I think that's the biggest hit home I want to say, and you're going to love it, I promise you.
That's awesome, man. You guys got a lot of, like, cons over there, like where you live? I know you live in your own spot, but...
check this out. Yeah, we got a con coming November 26, 27, and Jim Shooter, Sam De La Rosa, and Tom Grunnett. He's from the Death of Superman. They're all going to be here, so I'm going to try to see if I can't swindle them into some antics, so I can maybe throw that on my YouTube channel.
Yeah,
we'll see if they tell me get out of here, or But that's exciting. Yeah, I can't wait to meet Jim Shooter.
Oh yeah, he's like what everybody should aim for in their company. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's how you run everything. You know what I mean? It's all business and meritocracy.
So I get to talk to them in November, so I'm excited for that.
And if you do the cons, like you get your book out there, different things like that. For me, like I don't do any. I live over here in fucking LA County. I'm in California, right?
Okay.
But before I launched Butch CLEAVER, I would put it in comic book stores. And I go in there like, hey, this looks cool. Oh, get the fuck out of here. I don't like this. You know what I mean? But I would go there. I'd fill up my trunk with floppies, and I would go do that, and I would travel around and try to get my book in as many stores. I would do I did a couple cons, and I get the word out there a little bit. That's always good too. And for you, you're gonna have some nice graphic novels, man, and a whole world already built up and beautiful art and. Yeah, man, that's awesome, dude. I think people are gonna really love when they get their hands on this book.
That's my big thing is that feedback. I'm waiting to hear what people say when they see it and when they read it, and they go, "Holy shit, this thing is like really good." Then I know I've got something. Yeah, and I know that's gonna happen.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Feedback's the best. It's a good way for you to capitalize on making your product better. You know, we're always trying to grind and make ourselves better creators and entertainers and artists and writers and whatnot, you know what I mean? But it's hard sometimes to get the feedback, you know. Any feedback, you know, is good feedback as far as I'm concerned. It's just sometimes you got to have a tough skin and just take it, you know, because it's your baby, and sometimes they might be, you know, cutting it up a little bit, but you got to take it, you know what I mean? You got to handle it and then go back and make it better next time if it needs it.
Definitely, I think we can all agree that we need a world that gets back to having thicker skin like we had, you know, a couple decades ago. And definitely, people doing this need to realize that the creating the book is only 50% of it. The other 15% of it is selling it. And you have to be prepared for both. And like I said, I put all my emphasis in the creating part, and I let the other sides. I won't make that mistake again.
Sweet, man. Yeah. Well, I guess we're gonna wrap it up. Is there anything else you want to talk about, man? That I'd like to let everybody know.
No, that's great. Other than thank you so much, Matt. It's really great to meet you. And I mean, I've been following along on Twitter. I've been watching what you've been doing, so I'm definitely gonna pay more attention. And thank you so much for having me on your channel to talk. I really appreciate
thank you so much, man, for being on the second episode. This was really fun. I loved hearing your creative process and all the endeavors that you went into to create this book and your journey that took you to get this book made. I do want to read this book, so. That hopefully I get my hands on it sooner than later. And where can everybody find you at, man? On social media?
Or not? Yeah, I'm on Facebook under my name, Craig White. You can find me there. I'm on Instagram as well as Craig White, and then on Twitter I have two separate accounts. I have my Mad Ruth account, which is my chirping, you know, whatever I want to go on Twitter and say what I want to say. But I also got a Mad Ruth Comics account, which ironically I just retweet with. It's got a lot more followers than the one that I loudmouthed on. So
that's the one I was looking for, because I was like, oh, there's Mad Ruth, because that's how I always knew you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it does pay not to be very vocal sometimes, because that account's doing much better than the one I actually use. As well as on YouTube, I've got Mad Ruth on there, and what people don't realize, I got about 58 videos on my Mad Ruth on YouTube, and it's the entire process of me making this video. So it's me getting drunk some days, me smoking some days, but you can see the entire progress of me making this book over the course of 2 years. I made sure to upload a video a month.
Damn,
just to get
that's
myself
awesome.
Doing. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool, man. You guys need to go check out his whole process and how he made it, man. The book looks fantastic. Again, I can't wait to read it. I think it looks beautiful. Well, thanks again, guys, for watching. Again, you can catch me at Roomcutter Comics. Obviously, you're watching Metal Movies and Brewskis. And you guys have a great day. Remember to be bold, be brave, and roll the bones to know your role. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.